what's up you guys, it's B, and if you know, you know, but if you don't know, I'm on a journey to lose 100 pounds. Today's video is going to be a little bit different because I'm going to be showing you the song of my people. All you ladies popping like this. Just kidding. I'm going to be showing you how to make green chili. I was very surprised when I said that I will teach you how to make green chili if you want, that a lot of people wanted to know. Because I'll admit, aesthetically, when you're looking at it, it kind of resembles like vomit a little bit. It's not one of the most Instagrammable meals, but it's damn delicious. And it is a sacred dish in my town. Green chili is a religion. There are festivals surrounded by it. There's competitions. My town does not play around when it comes to green chili. It honestly feels a little bit like a betrayal sharing this recipe on my channel. But you know what? That's what this channel is. It's sharing, most of the time oversharing. A lot of the time it's oversharing. So let me just really quickly run through the ingredients and we will get started. We have a 15-ounce can of tomato sauce, a 15-ounce can of diced tomatoes, chicken broth. We're gonna be using a little bit of flour to thicken it up, olive oil, garlic, yellow onion. And then for the meat, I prefer boneless, skinless chicken breast. You can do whatever you want. It's completely customizable. I've made this without meat at all before. I just used mushrooms and spinach in it instead, and then vegetable broth. Traditionally, it's made with pork. I don't really like pork. My mom has made it with beef before. I don't really like beef in it either. I prefer chicken, but we were really on a roll too. Where was I? Oh, and the most important thing, you're gonna wanna get green chilies. In my green chili, I use about 8 ounces of hot Pueblo Chiles and 10 ounces of mild Anaheims. The amount of chili you use will 100% depend on the spice level you prefer. Every single fall, we head to the farms and get green chili by the bushel. We have it roasted there and then take it home, put it in freezer baggies and freeze it so we have a supply to use for the rest of the year. Now, if you don't have access to a farm, I found a website that will ship frozen roasted chilies to you. I'm not affiliated with them in any way. I simply Google searched. So that will be linked in the description, along with the recipe and directions and all that good stuff. So let's make it! Step 1, we are going to toss our chickens into a pot of water and boil the hell out of them. While that's going on, we have the lovely task of cleaning our chilies. If you are cleaning a lot of these, wear gloves because the capsaicin will absorb into your skin. You will have spicy hands. One time I cleaned an entire bushel without gloves and it was a painful experience. Days of discomfort. The phrase no glove, no love is meant for some other task, but however, it works really well in this scenario as well. And for the love of God, do not touch your eye with chili hands. You have been warned. I'm just running my hand over the chilies, getting off all of the charred bits, then I'm taking off the stem and getting rid of the seeds as well. Unless you have a death wish, you want to get rid of the seeds, and then just dipping it in water to help with that process. Next, we're going to use a food processor that makes a concerning burning smell every time you use it, and you really probably should replace it. However, let's be honest, you're just going to use it until it blows up. Anyways, pulverize your chilies to a baby food type consistency. Is your mouth watering yet? You're just going to have to trust me on this because it does not look good. Once your chickens reach an internal temperature of 165 degrees, you could go ahead and get them out of the bath, set them off to the side to cool. While your chickens are resting, go ahead and dice your yellow onion. I know it makes you guys hella nervous when I use this knife, but gotta do it to them. I had to. I haven't cried in a video lately. Oh god, that onion is so strong. Ugh. Moving on, go ahead and shred your chicken. I prefer to shred it instead of cut it into cubes because it is suspended in the sauce a little bit better and you get meat in every bite. Put your burner on medium heat and saute your onion and garlic in 3 tablespoons of olive oil until it is translucent. Now here is the tedious, annoying part. Once your onion is sauteed, tip your pot to the side so the oil is sort of like strained out. Push your onion to one side and then take it out of the pot. I know this seems like an unnecessary step, but we're gonna be adding our flour in next, and if the onion was left in there, it would just basically make little onion rings, which would be delicious, but it's not what we're trying to do. So go ahead and slap 1/4 cup of flour into the pot to soak up. the oil and stir it continuously. You might need to pour some of your chicken stock into the mixture so it doesn't clump up. We're making a roux in order to thicken the chili. Whisk for a few minutes, allowing the flour taste to cook out, and now you can just sort of dump everything else in. Sauteed onion, green chili, diced tomatoes, tomato sauce, the rest of your chicken broth, and your shredded chicken. Turn your burner down a little bit, kind of on the lower side. Just let all of those flavors marry. Let everything get warm. Let it get acquainted. And while that's happening, I'll go ahead and show you how I make homemade recipes and calculate calories in MyFitnessPal. Alright, first things first, look for the terrible MyFitnessPal logo. Once you found that abomination, go ahead and open it up. On the menu at the bottom, select More and a list appears. Click on My Meals, Recipes, and Foods, and at the bottom of that screen, there's an option to create new recipe. Type in the title and how many it serves. You can use deductive reasoning here and just make an educated guess, but for the sake of accuracy for this video, I transfer the green chili cup by cup into another pot so I know it has exactly 14 servings. Click the arrow in the top right hand corner to go to the next step, and now we will add all of the ingredients. MyFitnessPal is pretty nifty because it has a scanner to add prepackaged ingredients. So just click the scan icon and hold your phone's camera above the barcode and the information is populated. Now the preset for this is only 1 serving, so you have to look on the package and add however many servings you used. In this case we used the whole container, and then just put in the accurate amount. For items without a barcode, simply type in the search, find your item, and select the appropriate amount, same as you did with the scanned item. Once all the ingredients have been added, hit the right arrow again and voila! There are the nutrition facts for 1 serving of green chili. Press save and this recipe will forever be stored in your recipes tab for future use. I hope you found that little run through helpful. You can totally eat green chili all by itself and it's delicious, kind of like a stew situation. However, as a carb lover, I enjoy an extra crispy quesadilla on the side with a dollop of sour cream in the green chili to balance out the heat. It's just chef's kiss. And for all my carb conscious people out there, it is super easy to slap some green chili over some eggs, huevos rancheros style, ladies. God. So there is a sports bra hanging there. Maybe I should move that out of the frame. All of the bras. The stupid thing is I'm probably going to edit this and leave that in there anyway. So I never filmed an outro for this video. Well, I filmed an outro, but I didn't press record. So that's why there's a continuity error in like my appearance. But anyways, I hope you guys like this video. If you guys do end up making green chili, let me know how you like it because it's very specific to where I live. You know, all the locals here love green chili, but I'm very curious how well it translates, I don't know, in different places. So anyways, so if you do end up making it, like definitely let me know how that goes. I'm very curious. But as always, if you want to support the struggle, you are always forever welcomed to hit the subscribe button and that notification bell so you can be up to date on all my shenanigans. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!